Hi, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about how obesity can decrease the testosterone. So first of all, we will understand about how obesity can occur. So number one thing is that obesity is increased due to the our consumption of the carbohydrate, simple sugar, refined sugar. So how the strategy can be understand through this basically is the production of the too much adipose tissue. So remember, when you will intake too much sugar, so the sugar will spike the insulin, and when spike the insulin, the deposition of the sugar into the adipose tissue, the adipocyte, will lead to lipogenesis will occur due to the production of the insulin, and in this way the glucose level will be dropped ultimately into the blood circulatory system, and you will crave more to intake the more glucose. In this way, when insulin will increase, so the insulin directly target to the hypothalamus to inhibit the pituitary gland to production of the growth hormone. In this way, the growth hormone will not occur, so the stop of the lipolysis, because the growth hormone is important for the lipolysis. In this way, when you will chronically consumption or consume the sugar, so when you consume too much sugar again and again, in this way the craving will increase, craving will more increase, and in this way when craving will increase more, so the ultimately deposition of the extra sugar into the adipose tissue in the form of fat. That is the strategy of the obesity. So anyhow, when obesity will increase, so that drastically lipolysis will be decreased, because the lipogenesis is increasing due to the overproduction of the insulin and the low level of the growth hormone. In this way, the adipocyte contain a aromatase enzyme. This aromatase enzyme is basically used to convert the testosterone in our blood to the estrogen, and in this way the estrogen will increase, but the testosterone will be decreased, will lead to hypermestia, or basically is the a female boobs. You can see that is look like that. The male will contain a boobs, not like a a masculine structure, but the feminine structure, due to the overproduction of the estrogen, because estrogen is the character of the female hormone. So in this way that will problem can increase. In this way, the obesity is basically increased due to the consumption of the sugar. So the directly link with the testosterone. The sugar more consumed to decrease the testosterone due to the production of more estrogen, due to the aromatase inactivity, due to the adipose tissue increase. So in this way, the adipose tissue increase is the directly linked with the testosterone. So when you will consume more glucose, so in this way the testosterone will be decreased ultimately due to the growth hormone deficiency and the increase of the insulin. And insulin is the metabolic, basically the anabolic hormone, but it is used for the deposition of the glucose and amino acid into the fat. But the growth hormone is too much important for the lipolysis, but the proteogenesis and the proliferation of the cell, bone density, muscle growth, hair growth. So the premature gray hair is the solving problem through growth hormone. So in this way, basically how to protect this, basically don't use our consumption of the sugar, don't consume too much sugar chronically, and in this way you will ultimately decrease the obesity, because many studies shows that when you will not consume sugar, so it means the lipolysis will occur, and the fasting is important for the increasing of the testosterone. How it is possible, let's understand now. Basically, when you will go into the fasting, you will not eat even protein, fat, as well as sugar, carbohydrate. So the restriction diet strategy will lead to increase the growth hormone due to the buffering of the insulin. Insulin will decrease, basically insulin not produced due to the not consuming of the food. When you will go into the fasting, so the growth hormone will increase during the sleep time. More growth hormone will increase, will lead to lipolysis, as well as your physiology will be occur, and development and growth will occur, and the spermatogenesis will occur. The growth hormone will trigger the lipolysis to produce more fat, free fatty acid, and that free fatty acid and glycerol go into the liver, and when going to the liver it will convert due to the HMG-CoA reductase enzyme to the cholesterol. Anyhow, this is the story of the cholesterol production, because cholesterol is a precursor of the testosterone, and that cholesterol, high cholesterol, is not a problem, because the high cholesterol will go into the adrenal gland as well as testes to target and go into the Leydig cell to produce more testosterone from the cholesterol, because the cholesterol is important for the production of the testosterone. In this way, the testosterone will produce more, and that testosterone is used for the spermatogenesis, so infertility problem can be solved. But on the other hand, the basically is the dihydrotestosterone is used for the hair, deep voice, more masculine growth, muscle growth, bone density, and in this way the testosterone level will be high, and the adipolysis or lipolysis will inhibit the aromatase activity, because the aromatase enzyme are present in the fat cell, the adipocyte. When adipocyte will be decreased even ultimately, because adipocyte will be uh, 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 outtake of the fat and ultimately degrade, it will apoptose, and decrease of the adipocyte will lead to increase of the testosterone, because the aromatase activity not a problem. So in this way, increase of the testosterone when the lipolysis will occur. So remember that things, the obesity is the key to the decline of the testosterone. That is why with the passage of age, the testosterone will decrease. So the ultimately aging will occur due to the aromatase activity increase. And in this way, that estrogen is very bad for the male, not for female. Female is good, everything. But remember that things, the testosterone is important for the male, for the longevity. Not too much study shows about the testosterone for longevity, but it can work for the healthy person. And anyhow, it will lead to inhibit the premature gray hair, and your gray hair problem will be solved. On the other hand, your bones, your muscle, your everything will be increased more, because the estrogen is also the requirement of our body for the male, but little amount of the estrogen, not too much. Estrogen is important for the bone density of the male, but it is required little amount, not too much. When too much estrogen will produce from the adipose tissue conversion from testosterone to the estrogen, which that will lead to cause problem and target to the male silent mammary gland, will lead to activate that gene, will lead to bulging out the nipples, and in this way it will lead to cause many problem. It will not appearance look like a male, and that will lead to cause a lot of problem. So what is the root of the decline of the testosterone and increase of the estrogen? Is the sugar. Sugar will lead to cause obesity, and obesity will lead to cause more estrogen production from the testosterone, and that testosterone decline will lead to fatigue in the muscle and inability to work normally like a normal person, and the aging ultimately increase, because the with the passage of time testosterone when declined, so in this way the aging will occur. And the whole physiology of the male look like a behavioral as well as the physiological function of the male. Their brain function look like a male is due to the testosterone. So the testosterone is the androgen hormone for the male, will lead to cognitive power and the brain function more as a leadership like structure, leadership like behavior, and a lot more things. In this way, the testosterone is too much important, and that is why the decline of the testosterone due to the obesity is due to these things, basically the over consumption of the sugar. So the fasting and healthy diet as well as exercise will decrease the estrogen level, will lead to decrease the obesity, and on the other hand increase the testosterone and increase the growth hormone. So the growth hormone directly linked with the production of cholesterol from the lipolysis, and in this way the testosterone will ultimately from the cholesterol to produce produced testosterone is used for the infertility clearance, and the more fertile male can be happen. I hope you make sense about that. In this video we have discussed about how obesity will lead to decline the testosterone and will lead to cause many complications. I hope you make sense. I am also making the handwritten tutorial about the biomedical science. If you are a biomedical expert or student or health issue problem are related to the obesity, premature gray hair or other things, I am learning about that. If you like that, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. For this time, bye. Allah Hafiz.